The lost Ark of the Covenant, history's greatest mystery. The Ark of the Covenant, an ancient, sacred artifact shrouded in mystery, power, and divine presence, which holds the tablets of the Ten Commandments. What was its true purpose? Where is it now? And why has it captivated the minds of prophets, kings, historians, and explorers for thousands of years? In this deep dive episode, we explore the origins of the Ark in the time of Prophet Musa, Moses, peace be upon him, its significance in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, biblical and Quranic references, historical accounts and theories about its disappearance, the ongoing search and the claims about its final resting place. Join us as we journey through ancient texts, legends, and hidden clues in pursuit of the Ark of the Covenant. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. Hope that you all are happy and well. According to the book of Exodus, the story of the Ark dates back to ancient Egypt. In the 13th century BC, the Exodus is one of the most famous stories ever told. Moses and the Israelites survive a plague that takes the firstborn sons of the land. Moses leads the Israelites out of the land of the Egypt, and they move across the Red Sea, where the water miraculously parts when he holds up his magical staff. They arrive in the mountain, in which God gives them the Ten Commandments. The Israelites built a holy vessel, a sacred box to hold these tablets of the commandments. It's called the Ark of the Covenant. The Bible gives a very clear description as to what the Ark of the Covenant looks like. God himself is in fact the architect of this, so is very precise about the measurement and the way that has to be built. It's made of acacia wood, 2.5 cubits in length, 1.5 cubits breadth, and 1.5 cubits height, approximately 52 by 31 by 31 inch. It's covered entirely in gold, inside and out. It has 4 gold rings on which poles are attached for it to be carried. Finally, it is topped with an ornate gold lid that has 2 sculpture of cherubim on top. According to the Old Testament, the Israelites carried the Ark for 40 years, wandering through the desert. Along the way, it displays great power. Eventually, the Ark is brought to Jerusalem, where King Solomon builds the first Jewish temple at a place called the Temple Mount. He houses the Ark inside, within a special room called the Holy of Holies. The temple is completed by around 950 BC, and for 4 centuries, the Ark in the temple becomes the center, sort of a thrumming heart in the kingdom of Israel. The Ark of the Covenant was the focal point of the religious devotion, place where God spoke to the world. Then, war breaks out. In 587 BC, the Babylonian attacked Jerusalem and finally destroyed the city after a 30-month siege. And the Babylonians are absolutely brutal. They tear down the temple. They also set Jerusalem on fire. And everything burns, including perhaps the Ark. This isn't just a Bible story. There are archaeological evidence that the Babylonians destroyed Jerusalem. Babylon loots the city before it burns. There are some records of some of the things they took, but something that's never mentioned in any of those records is the Ark of the Covenant, something that would have certainly been mentioned if they have taken it. So, large amount of historians believe the Ark of the Covenant was in Jerusalem up to 587 BC. After that, it's almost entirely absent from the biblical text. Over the years, theories have placed the powerful Ark of the Covenant everywhere from Ethiopia to Ireland. But historians remain skeptical that it could have traveled so far from Jerusalem. If the Ark have existed and survives, it's probably somewhere in the Middle East. With the Babylonians closing in around the destruction of the temple, the Jews would not have had very much time, and so the best thing to do was just tuck in and hide it. It's not like they can take it to a long voyage. They would have probably had to carry it on foot. That probably didn't travel very far. So you definitely left with a limited radius in which to look. Could they even have gotten the Ark out of Jerusalem? Some theorists know that before the Babylonians actually laid siege to the city, they actually surrounded it for a couple of years, and it would have been impossible to have smuggled anything in or out. But in 2007, a new discovery challenges that thinking. A team of archaeologists, Ronnie Reich and Eli Shukran, discovered what they called an escape hatch, a tunnel running from the Temple Mount all the way down outside of the city. This tunnel has walls that are up to 10 feet tall, which gives plenty of space for a group of priests to have smuggled out considerable numbers of objects, including the Ark of Covenant. This tunnel leads under the city walls into the Kidron Valley, creating a theory for a possible escape route for the Ark of the Covenant. The discovery of this tunnel connects a lot of the biblical dots of the story of the Ark. The book of 2nd Maccabees suggests that Prophet Jeremiah takes the Ark of the Covenant and the temple treasures out of the city. So here's the big question. If this tunnel is the Ark's escape path leading to the Kidron River, where is it goes from there? While I was researching the Ark of the Covenant, I came across some very interesting findings and claims from a man named Jim Barfield, a fire investigator for 23 years who dedicated his life to solving mysteries. Then he turned his attention to the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Ark of the Covenant. According to Jim Barfield, there is only one possible answer. The Kidron River heads east, and then it branches off into the Qumran River, which leads past an ancient settlement, also called Qumran. Qumran is famous because that's where the Dead Sea Scrolls were found. Jim Barfield says that he has been studying Qumran for the last 25 years, and he believes that it's the resting place of the Ark of the Covenant. As an archaeological find, the Dead Sea Scrolls are huge. Most of the scrolls contain stories and scriptures, but one of them, discovered in 1952, is made of copper. It dates back to the 1st century. The copper scroll lists 64 places where various items were hidden, including items of gold and silver. But the text is big and difficult to decipher, possibly to prevent outsiders from discovering the location of these sites. The text gives a number of directions to landmark that only locals would likely have known, like gates in the salt pit, under the steps, or in the cave of the old washer's chambers under 3rd Terrace. As Jim Barfield explains, the copper scroll is not a biblical story. On this copper scroll, instructions are hammered out to find treasure from Solomon's temple, which he believes includes the Ark of the Covenant. Keep in mind that Barfield is not a part of any dig. As an investigator, he is just trying to line up things on his first visit out there. Location 1 on the copper scroll describes 17 talents of silver service vessels. That's around 1,200 pounds, or $340,000 of pure silver. But as an archaeological find, it is priceless. This copper scroll sets it at the steps, heading east 40 cubic long. That's about 65 feet. In Qumran, Barfield is only able to find one location with steps heading east. When he gets there, he measured the steps, and they are exactly 40 cubits long, and he is convinced that those service vessels are buried at that location. Next, Barfield turns his attention to finding location number 2. The second location of the copper scroll says, in the dry cistern of the great ruined courtyard of the Para-style, polished gold is hidden in the salt seabed. In front of the top opening are 900 talents, an incredible 33 tons of polished gold. So now Barfield is looking for a cistern in a courtyard, but he's still not sure that the copper scroll is referring to Qumran and the surrounding sites. He believes, though, that the sites keep lining up for him. He says that when he found the location of the cistern, it was easy to determine because there was a great courtyard there that matched the description of the copper scroll. Barfield was excited, and he believes that he found the 33 tons of polished gold in this location. Unfortunately, Barfield lacks permission to dig, so he can't verify the gold is there, but he is looking for a much more valuable prize. Barfield describes that locations 1 and 2 are lining up, but his ultimate goal is to find location number 3. which could hold the temple treasures of King Solomon and the Ark of the Covenant. The Copper Scroll describes this location as being at the north end of the Hill of the Kohelet. Whatever is ancient Jews used to refer to as the Hill of the Kohelet, it's been lost to the sands of time. Barfield says that he realizes that the hill couldn't be within Qumran because there is no hill within the ruins of Qumran, but there are several nearby. Barfield studied satellite imagery to identify a possible candidate for Kohelet's hill, and he finds a hill that seems to match, and when he gets there, there appears to be a cave that's sealed shut. To him, it doesn't look like a natural rock formation. He believes the cave location may also be a clue. Barfield explains that when he looked at this location on a map, locations 3, 2, and 1 were in a perfectly straight line. It was as if whoever wrote this document was leading me to this specific location. Barfield was eager to prove that the cave is hiding something. He took a sample of the stone and sent it off to a lab, where they had it examined, and they find that it is man-made mortar in a common mixture in formula from that time frame. Barfield wondered and questioned that why would somebody seal a random hill with concrete? So Jim Barfield, with all this evidence, asked the Israeli authorities for permission to excavate. They don't go that far, but they allow him to return in 2014 with a parliamentary delegate. This time he was able to bring more advanced equipment. What he decided to do is to buy an industrial metal detector. Before he went back, he took that metal detector and buried 30 pounds of silver in his front yard to get a baseline. This is to make sure that what they are seeing, they can judge it against what they might find in Qumran. Back at Qumran, they scanned the courtyard of the peristyle, and as they got closer, they just clicked on the ledge that contained 33 tons of gold buried in it, and the ratings just went off the charts. And when they got to the location number 3, the metal detector confirms their suspicions that this is the mother lode. According to Barfield's results, the metal detector finds 5 times the amount of metal in location number 3 than the 33 tons of gold positive for location number 2. Barfield says that he has already proven that something is down there. Now we have to dig it up and see what it is. He says that if we look at all the evidence, such as the Copper Scroll, the biblical text, the map, the molder, the metal detector ratings, all of this leaves no doubt for him that this closed cave contains the greatest treasure of Israel. He is convinced that when the authorities give them permission to do the excavation, they are going to be face to face with the Ark of Covenant. Now let's see what Islam says about the Ark of the Covenant. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 248, "The sign of Saul's kingship is that the Ark will come to you, containing reassurance from your Lord and relics of the family of Moses and the family of Aaron, which will be carried by the angels." This verse refers to the time of Prophet Samuel, not named directly in the Quran, and the appointment of Talut, Saul, as king over the children of Israel. As a divine sign of Talut's legitimacy, Allah caused the return of the Tabut, Ark, which had been lost, carried by angels. According to Tafsir Ibn Kathir and other classical commentaries, the Tabut contained relics such as the staff of Musa, alayhi salam, the tablets, ulwa, of the Torah, a pot of manna, heavenly food, items from Harun, alayhi salam. Islamic tradition, not directly in the Quran. The Ark is believed to have been a source of divine tranquility and a symbol of authority. It accompanied the Israelites during their journey and was later lost due to their disobedience and corruption. Its fate remains unknown, though many scholars believe it will reappear as a sign before the end of times. I hope you enjoyed this video about one of the greatest mysteries in history. Let us know in the comments below, and stay tuned for more stories of prophets, history, and wisdom. Inshallah, next week, we're diving into another epic tale, so stay tuned. As always, in the end, I would like to request you that, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you may get informed of every new video or session I upload. Like the video and share it to as many people as you can. If you have any thoughts, please use the comment section below. Remember, sometimes a simple dua, a prayer or smile is more than enough. Your support could guide others towards truth, earning you endless rewards. See you in the next video. May Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, keep us all in peace, security, and guide us on the right path. Amen. Ya Rabbul Alameen.